It's taken away by getting tickets, having accidents. So it's really important that all of you understand. This is including for me too as a state certified driving instructor. We have a graduated licensing system. Most places across the United States do. What does this mean? You graduate. You go on from level 1, level 2, level 3, okay? Residents under 18, you guys are under 18. I do teach people over 18. There's a 3-step licensing process in order for you to pass. Right now, all of you guys and ladies are in level 1. What does this mean? You're in segment 1. You have 24 hours of class. You have to have 6 hours behind the wheel and 4 hours of observation. You're watching someone else drive. What did they do right? What did they do wrong? What did you learn from them? After that, you will go to Secretary of State with a parent or guardian. You'll get your digital certificate. You need to bring your Social Security card or letter of ineligibility. You got to have proof of residence, a piece of mail, and proof of identity. So if you have those things, you'll be eligible to get your level 1. Now, here's the part where your parents come in. They have to do their job. In the level 1, your mom or dad or someone over 21 needs to drive with you. You need to have 30 hours in 3 months. No, guys, you can't get it all in one day. You can't say, I'm going to drive from Indiana to California, come back and be done. No, it's got to be 30 hours in 3 months. Let's pretend the class is over today. All of you have your drives. I have your digital certificates. You still have to drive from 3 months from today or tomorrow or August 20th or September 10th. 30 hours in 3 months. A lot of beginners think, man, I can get my hours in a month and I can get my license. It doesn't work like that. So if your mom and dad don't make time for you, you won't learn how to drive. You won't get your license in a timely fashion. If you get sick or you miss a day of segment 1 or you get kicked out of class. So you got to be on your best behavior. It's really important. So level 1 allows the individual to drive with their parent or guardian or a designated adult. Maybe it's your uncle. Maybe it's your auntie. Your mom and dad don't have time, they work. So Uncle Eugene will drive you, okay? So that's the process. Now let's talk about segment 2. I always have questions, so I want to keep it clear. After 3 months, and if you have 30 hours, you can get more than 30. You're going to come back for segment 2. I teach segment 2. What does that consist of? The gift of life, defensive driving, crash avoidance. All of these things are very important to become a safe driver because remember, you're on a graduated license. But if you missed a day of class or you get an accident, please don't get in an accident to get a ticket because that will result in a ticket going to the Department of Motor Vehicles, Secretary of State, and you won't be eligible. Let's pretend, Ashland, you got a speeding ticket. You were late to gymnastics, right? You're trying to get there. You got a ticket. You're saying to myself, I won't get my license on time because you have a ticket. Don't get a ticket, Mr. Floyd. Don't speed through the neighborhood. Don't blow a stop sign. Don't run lights. Build good habits. That's what this class is about. Segment 2, you're around 16. You had in our state, you had to be 16 and a half, 50 hours to take this test. I'll say it again and then keep moving. If you are trying to take your road test, you have to be 16 years old and have 50 hours. But what if I'm 17 and a half, 40? Can't take a road test. What if I'm 18 and I only have 30? Well, you have to make a decision, right? What up, Jackson? So I need you to lock in and get your hours. Level 3, you don't have a restricted license. You can drive as long as you want. Between level 1 and the mid-level 2, you're going to have a restricted license, guys. You got to be in by 10 p.m. What if I get caught? If you get caught, that could trigger a response from the Secretary of State. They're going to keep you on level 2 for another 6 months. Why is that like that? because you fall asleep at the wheel. You crash at night. You're distracted. So the state has talked to instructors like me. The state has talked to concerned citizens like your parents, driving schools. The state has talked to the big brain people at the University of Florida, University of Texas, University of Michigan, and they said, our young people are not capable of driving late night. They fall asleep. They have more accidents. They have studies for this. So it's not someone trying to hold you back. Okay, I'm going to keep going. So for residents 18 and older who have never been licensed, you need three things. One, a valid Social Security number. When you're born, you get a number. Your parents have that tucked away in a safety deposit box, a fireproof vault. Those are important documents. Number two, you need proof of U.S. citizenship or legal present. Some type of legal document. We're talking about legal documents. It can't be a piece of paper that says you were enrolled in high school. That's not a legal document. The state needs more than that, or proof of identity or residence. So those important documents, you need to maybe go to the Department of Records of births and deaths. You need a birth certificate with the stamp that has the seal of approval. Okay, you can't just copy your school ID and say, here. You can't do that. It has to be a legal document. Okay. Once they receive the TIP, a TIP is a temporary instruction permit. If you're over 18, you can drive and get a TIP. You drive 30 days, you take your test. Let's talk about some other endorsements. One of you asked me, well, what about a motorcycle endorsement? That's great. You're telling me you're reading. Time is good. Let's keep going. You're telling me you're reading. That's good. But remember, I'm also going over information. Time is good. So what are other licenses and endorsements? Different states have slightly, you want to learn how to ride a motorcycle? You're going to need a motorcycle endorsement. You're going to have to complete class. You need to be between 16 and 17. You want to ride a moped? That's an unlicensed teen, 15 or under. You have to have parent approval. They will take your moped if you're riding in the street, being wild, doing donuts. They're going to take it. The police will. You want to drive a semi or a school bus? You have to have a special CDL endorsement, commercial driver's license with a group designation. You have to know about air brakes. You need to know about weight management. You need to know about load. Okay? Those things are extremely important. You want to have a chauffeur's license. I have a chauffeur's license and an enhanced license. With an enhanced license, I can travel anywhere in Canada, anywhere in the continental United States. Okay? I also have a chauffeur's license. I can drive a vehicle upwards of 12,000 pounds. After 12,000 pounds, I'm going to have to get a CDL. So again, there's a chauffeur's license, commercial driver's license, a moped license, and a motorcycle endorsement. Let's talk about the HTS again. This is on your test. I'm going through this information. You have it in your study guide. You must know this. You want to pass this class. If not, you're 16, you're 15, you're 17, you're 18. This is going to put you back 6 months, 9 months, 1 year. I'm not in your house. I don't know your situation. Maybe your dad is sick. Maybe you're living with your grandma. Maybe you're the only one that can drive. Maybe you waited long enough and your parents are like, we're not taking you anymore. You need to get your license. Okay, mom. Okay, dad. Or maybe they're making you pay for it. I don't know your situation, but you're here to learn. So let's talk about these 5 laws that govern the HTS. They are 5. Number 1, the National Traffic Motor Vehicle Safety Act. This is for vehicle emissions and recalls. Okay, let's pretend Ava is driving a 2027 Mustang. There's an electrical issue in the wiring harness. It doesn't work properly. You'll get an email or a letter saying, Ava, at your convenience, drive to the nearest Ford dealership. This will take about 25 minutes. Our technicians will drive your car into the work area. You sit in the lounge, you get a coffee, you get a donut, you're chilling. They're going to pull your whole wiring harness out and plug in a new one because there was a mistake at the manufacturing facility. Let's go to the next. Let's pretend Ashlyn is driving a 2027 Hellcat Charger, 707 horsepower. You got that big fast car. Young! The National Highway Safety Act establishes general guidelines for safety concerning vehicle registration and inspection. So let's pretend you live in New Jersey. Your vehicle has to be inspected every 6 months. Maybe your mom or uncle works at a high-performance dealership. They modified your car. It's illegal. You don't have your catalytic converters on there. Your car will not pass the Vehicle Emissions Act because you took the catalytic converters off. It makes about 20 more horsepower, but your car is illegal. So your dad's like, honey, you got to bring your car in. We got to put these special catalytic converters on that will make your car emission legal, but you can still have about 15 horsepower. Okay, I'm giving you some clear examples. Next, let's go on to the next one. Let's pretend Ben is driving. Ben is driving from Hawaii. Ben, you're going to get on a plane, then you go to Los Angeles. Then you go to Texas. Ben, all the traffic lights, this is the Uniform Traffic Control Act. All of the traffic lights are the same shape, same color, slightly different locations. Some traffic lights are vertical, up and down. Some traffic lights are horizontal, left or right. But across the United States, you have 3 lights. You have a red, yellow, and green. So Ben doesn't get confused, but he understands in some states, the lights are vertical, up and down. Ben doesn't get confused. So let's say in Las Vegas, Nevada, he's visiting his uncle, who's an engineer for Ford, and they're doing testing in Death Valley. The traffic lights are horizontal. Next, state government. Okay? Let's pretend that Andrew is driving and there are federal laws. Just pretend Andrew, your dad, drives the semi-truck. He owns the semi-truck company. He's got to follow the state rules. The semi-trucks have to be licensed. They have to have the proper insurance. Your drivers have to have updated driver's license and CDL endorsements. They have to have a proper logbook. So when your dad's drivers drive, say from Texas to Kansas to Nevada, they're all licensed, they're all certified. So the state government has guidelines, the federal government has guidelines to make sure the drivers are safe. Local governments. Let's pretend Michael is driving and he is on his cell phone. He goes through New York. He goes through Michigan. He goes through Ohio. Michael can get a ticket in New York for on his phone. Michael get a ticket in Ohio. Michael will get a ticket in Michigan because you cannot be on your phone while driving. So he could get a ticket in all 3 states. And if you look on the internet, an officer was dressed up like a Bush. He had a green outfit on. He was on a walkie-talkie telling officers, Michael is on his phone. Benjamin is on his phone. Ava's on her phone. The red Hellcat, the Mustang, the white pickup truck. And then you guys get pulled over because you're in violation of a law. I need you to type takeaway. I need 3 sentences on what you just learned today. I went through 8 pages of the curriculum. I went through this information. I used examples of all of you. You need to type in and tell me, what did you learn? Type takeaway and give me 3 complete sentences. That's what I'm looking for today. I need you to meet that standard. Please take a couple of minutes to do that. Again, type takeaway and then put in your answer. You have to think, what did we talk about? What did my instructor go over? Why is he going over these things? I use examples. You'll remember more when I use your name. Please do that right now. Guys, this is part of the masterclass. I'm sharing real life examples. I'm making you better. I need you to subscribe. Why? I'm a state certified driving instructor. I teach adults and teens. I'm preparing you for the next level of learning how to drive. We're using real life examples. We're moving you forward. If you find this of value, subscribe. We're going to do more master classes. And when you see masterclass, you need to come on. You need to leave questions. I appreciate you. Subscribe to get value. And what I need you to do, you're going to tell me, what did you learn today to make you a better driver? Again, you're going to tell me, what did you learn today to make you a better driver? Type that in.